Welcome everyone to the very first video for Selective Preparation Power Thinking Skills. So in these videos, we are going to explain 10 selected questions from each of the tests that we do weekly. And when you watch this video, please make sure to do that on a weekly basis to improve on your exam skills on top of normal classes. So let's get to it without further ado. First question was evaluating reasoning question. So we are given a bit of text here and we want to investigate these two people's opinions in accordance to this text. So you have to remember here that you have to not include any of your preconceived notions. So everything that you think about in real life, even if the statement says something that is absurd or ridiculous, you have to believe what is given in the statement. Okay, so in this statement it says, in order to become a safe driver, you must follow rules and must also not be easily distracted. The order here is very important. In order to become a safe driver, you must do these two things, right? Follow rules and not easily distracted. However, this does not mean just because you are easily distracted and you follow rules, you are definitely a safe driver. There may be other things that aren't mentioned here that impact if you are a safe driver or not. But we know for sure that if you want to be a safe driver, you must at least have these two things. Let's look at Wally's reasoning. Ali would definitely be a safe driver because he always follows the rules and has great coordination and is seldom distracted. Now, this may seem like a correct response. However, this word here makes it incorrect. Okay, this statement tells us, like I said, what the minimum things are you have to do to become a safe driver. However, it's not exhaustive, which means it's not everything that you need, or we don't know, it might be, but it has no information about whether or not it's everything you need to become a safe driver. Okay, they're just some things that you need to be a safe driver. So that's why we can't say that Ali will definitely be it just because he's not that distracted and he follows the rules. Okay, so Wally is not. I'm going to put a cross next to his name. Ali says, Wally will not be a safe driver because although he is responsible, he struggles with his concentration. Now, Ali is correct here because we know that for a fact, this being distracted is one of the things that will prevent you from being a safe driver. If you don't have it, you're not a safe driver. And he struggles with his concentration. Okay, so according to that, only Ali is correct, so B is the answer. So for each of these questions, I usually have a solutions that I've written up here. Please give that a read if you'd like more information by pausing the video at any time. Number 2, is this an example of cause and effect? So they tell us a cause is a driving force that makes something happen and the effect is the result. So it says here, because of the gum found on school desks, students are not allowed to chew gum. The key word here is because. This word because actually tells us that this is a cause and effect. Okay, because of this cause, or because of this effect, the gum was found on school desks. This is the cause. Okay, because of this cause, students are not allowed to chew gum. That is the resulting effect. It's the result. Okay, so the answer is yes. Number 3, this one we wanted to draw a quick diagram. You'll quickly realize while working through thinking skills videos that a lot of these things actually work better, where you can solve them out if you draw a simple diagram or construct a table. Okay, so I have 6 spots here. They're sitting next to each other. Cameron is on the far right. So Cameron's going to be here. I'm going to write Cam for short. Be careful here though, because all the names start with C. So if you write C for all of them, or even CA, you're going to get confused. Okay. While Carter is third from the left. So 1, 2, 3 from the left. This is Carter. Okay, right, Carter. We've done this one and this one. Cole is the neighbor of Cameron and Carson. Cole is the neighbor of Cameron and Carson. Cameron is here. So Cole must be the neighbor of Cameron, which means that Carson must be the neighbor of Cole. Okay, Carson. We've done that. Christian is to the immediate right of Caleb. Right, we have 2 spots left. If somebody is to the right of Caleb, then Caleb must be here, right? And Christian must be here. Okay, so now which one can be implied? Be careful here, sometimes it says cannot be. Okay, this one is can be. Caleb is at the far right. Caleb is at the far left, so A is out. Christian is next to Cameron. No, he's not. It's out. Cole is 4th from the right. Right is this side, he's 2nd, so C is out. Christian is 2nd from the left. Yes, indeed, Christian is 2nd from the left. Right, this is the left, this is the right, 2nd from the left. So D is your answer. Number 4, which of the following morals is best represented in this story? So reading the story, I'm talking about a lion was about to eat a mouse, okay? The lion let the mouse go, so we did a favorable deed or a good deed, and then later the lion was tied up and the mouse noticed and set him free. So basically this is saying that one good deed will lead to another good deed, okay? Or in other words, a small act of kindness can go a long way. The lion was kind to the mouse by not eating him and letting him go, and therefore the mouse could essentially save the lion later on. If the lion didn't let the mouse go, no one would be able to save him later. Okay, so it's gone a long way. Number 5, subject of discussion. Which of the following most diminishes this argument? This word diminish means to weaken. Okay, which one weakens the argument, makes it less strong? We have to find the main argument here. Okay, the main argument is here. The opinion of the piece is that if students were allowed to choose not to learn these compulsory subjects, it would improve their motivation and results. So we need something that suggests no, okay? If students were allowed to choose not to learn the compulsory subjects, something negative might happen, okay? Or, in other words, learning these compulsory subjects is a good thing, okay? We shouldn't allow them to not choose it. That's why C is the correct one. Exams and assignments have been shown to be greater demotivation for students. So we're not focusing on the actual learning aspect of these compulsory subjects, but it's actually the motivational struggles for students. Okay, that is what, like exams and assessments, that is what is a greater demotivation. Okay, so if we have that argument, it highlights like the other sources of this demotivation, and it's not just the subject itself. So that's why it's a weakening argument. Okay, if you have a look at A, B, and D, it either strengthens the argument or it's not really connected to it directly like C is. Okay, number 6. For pattern questions, I always suggest you look at the macro pattern first. What does that mean? Look at the big picture. Okay, how is the pattern moving first of all, and what do the numbers kind of look like? If we take this first one, you can see that the last number is always the biggest, and these 3 numbers are kind of quite small in compared to the last one. That tells me I am using these 3 numbers in some way to get to the last one. Another thing you notice is the direction of the arrows, okay? They must be moving in this direction to get to the final result. How do I get there? Well, 6 times 3 will give us 18. And then from there you minus 2 and you get 16. 4 times 7 is 28. You minus 1 and you get 27. So for our final one, 2 times 11 is 22. You minus 6 and you get 22 minus 6. We try it. 16. So the answer is A. Okay. Number 7, a moral question. Again, which one's best represented? So milkmaid is on a way. She's to sell 2 pails of fresh creamy milk. She thought of all the things she would buy with the money she made from the milk. While she was thinking, she tripped suddenly and both pails of milk fell. So she has actually gotten ahead of herself, okay? She has been thinking all about how much money she's going to make, and that has actually essentially cost her the milk. She was distracted and didn't focus at the task at hand and therefore lost everything. We have a proverb or idiom to describe that. It's D. Do not count your chickens before they hatch. What does that mean? She has spent too much thought or effort on thinking about things that hasn't happened yet. Okay, don't count how many chickens you have before they've hatched out of the egg. You don't know if they are actually going to be chickens. So D is the best answer. Again, make sure you can read the solutions anytime by pausing the video. Question 8, we have some algorithmic work. A bowl of soup and bread costs $7.50. If the bread costs $4 less than the soup, how much would the soup cost? So what does that mean? If I had a block for the bread, okay, that's to represent how much the bread costs, then how much would the soup cost? The bread costs $4 less than the soup, which means the soup would be the box plus $4, right? So we know the whole thing costs $7.50. So you can put the box, we add everything up, box plus $4 will give us $7.50. 2 boxes plus $4 is $7.50. 2 boxes is $3.50. So that means 1 box is $1.75. The box represents how much the bread is. So if you want to find out how much the soup is, you have to add $4 to that, $5.75, which is option D. Question 9, we're going to take a similar approach, okay? So bag A and bag B contain 942 marbles altogether. After transferring 82 marbles from A to B, bag A has twice the amount of marbles than B. How many marbles were there in bag A at first? So remember, we're not actually removing any marbles, we are just exchanging. So at the end, okay, we have A and B. At the end, bag A has twice as many marbles as B. Same technique, we use boxes, okay? The boxes represent a certain number of marbles. We don't know what that is. We can figure it out. This should add up to 942. So remember, these boxes are even. So you can divide this by 3. You get 3, 1, minus, you get 1. And you drop the 2 down, 12, 3 to 12, 4. You get 0. So each of these boxes actually contain 314 marbles. So that means that this together will be 628 marbles. Okay? Now let's work backwards. After transferring 82 marbles from A to B, bag A has 628. So we're going to bring back the 82. So we plus 82 onto 628. 628 plus 82, 10, carry the 1, 710 marbles initially. Okay, so that's why C is the answer. The last question for today. So we have a Venn diagram to draw. For Venn diagrams, I always suggest you to start from the inside first, okay? So what I mean by inside, the thing that is done by all 3 groups. So here, 3 play violin, piano, and flute. We have all 3 groups here. So in a Venn diagram, you're going to start with the 3. Okay, I'm going to put that in. Now, when you look at any other things, for example, here, 12 play at least the piano and violin, or violin and piano. So we're going to look at piano and violin, this section here. But you have to remember 12 plays at least, which means they can play more. That includes people who also play flute. So even though this section add up to 12, this thing that I've outlined here, okay, doesn't mean that in here is 12. That is not correct, okay? Because 12 is the combined of violin and piano and people who can play all 3. So then what you do is, because you know this middle number, you minus it from 12 and you get 9. And that must be the people in this little segment here. And you're going to do that for the rest of them. So always start with the one, the middle of the Venn diagram, where all 3 things are in common, and then work outwards when there's only 2, and then lastly when there's 1. How many musicians do not play any of these instruments? Well, we have 100 altogether. You have to remember that, 100 altogether. So you're going to minus the numbers you've put in here, and you get this number A, which is the people who don't play anything. So we've done this subtraction here, and the result should be 36. Okay? So please take a good look at that Venn diagram. Try and figure it out yourself, because it's a very important skill to have. Right, so at the end of each of these videos, I do a key points from this test so that it's a good summary of, I guess, for next time, okay, to revise. Let's start with that Venn diagram question, okay? Just as a refresher, always start with the very center segment of the Venn diagram, okay? i.e. the part that contains all three groups, okay, whatever the groups may be. From here, work outwards, okay, by looking at the overlapping part, okay, for two groups, and finally for the single group, okay, so the outside bit. Key thing to note here, okay, note, don't forget to add up all the numbers inside your circle to check for outliers. So people who don't do anything, outliers, okay? And one more thing, we'll talk about pattern questions, okay? Pattern questions. Look for the macro pattern, okay? Don't go straight in to solving the question, as you may get lost and have no way out. All right, so hopefully that has helped you guys. Just a reminder that we do have these videos every week and they are available for you to watch. So please do that and try and keep those points in mind for the next test. All right, till then, I hope you have a lovely week.